Hello everyone, HitDie D6 here, and I'm coming at you today with an Outlaw spec guide. As you guys know, I am a rogue main, and though Assassination and Subtlety rogues both got pretty significant changes, Subtlety way more than Assassination, I believe Outlaw is probably what most of you guys are looking forward to, and it is my main spec. And out of the three, I will say it is the most fun. Doesn't quite have the damage the other two have, but it is the pre-patch, and it is still viable. But I believe it's what you guys are probably looking forward to the most, so let's get into it. Let's bring up our spell book here first, and look at what abilities have changed. We'll head to our passives first. Ruthlessness. Your finisher's moves have a 20% chance per combo point spent to grant an additional combo point. We've had this for a while. As long as I've played the game since Mists of Pandaria. And it just smooths out your combo point generation, right? It's not, you don't really notice it too much if you're used to playing a rogue. If you're not used to playing a rogue, it's just going to throw you off by one ability, because you'll generate one too many combo points than you expected. So it's something to look out for new rogues, but if you played a rogue, this isn't a big deal. Our mastery is main Gauche, the same that it was in Warlords of Draenor. Your main hand attacks have a chance increased by your mastery to trigger an additional attack with your offhand. This is really good because of combat potency. Your offhand attacks have a chance to generate 15 energy. And that does apply to your main Gauche. So, these two right here are immediately going to mean that your best stats are going to be Haste, Mastery. Haste, because it gives you more offhand attacks for that extra energy, and you guessed it, Mastery, because it gives you more offhand attacks, and it's going to give you more energy. That being said, don't make the mistake of putting your stronger weapon in your offhand. Some people that might just be coming to this spec are probably going to be like, should I put my stronger weapon in my offhand then? Since, that's what we're trying to go for, is these offhand attacks. And the answer is no, because your ability damage is going to be based off of your main hand weapon's damage, or the abilities that strike with your main hand. Next we have Vanish, same that it has been. We no longer have Prep to reset this, which is a bit of a bummer, but not that big of a loss. Tricks of the Trade, I think everybody knows what that does. Stealth, if you're watching this guide and you don't know that rogues can stealth, I feel for you, man. I feel for you. Sprint, we still have Sprint. Not too bad. Usable while stealth, of course. Sap. This is our 1 minute crowd control, from stealth. Helps out with crowd control and raids. You can sap the healer before pulling a pack. Saber Slash. This is actually perfect, this order that these come in. Saber Slash is your new combo point building ability. It's Sinister Strike, except for Saber Slash has a 45% chance to strike an additional time, making your next pistol shot free. It's actually 35, but I have a talent that increases it to 45, which we'll talk about in the next section. Run Through is Eviscerate. It's Eviscerate with a different name. It might cost less energy, I'm not sure. Roll the Bones. We'll come back to it, because I know you all want to hear about Roll the Bones. riposte. 100% chance to increase your parry and you reflect back some physical damage. I guess it's a little better than evasion. No. I'm gonna say no. Increases your chance to parry for 10 seconds each time. Cannot occur more than once per second. Can anybody confirm for me in the comments below, does anything in World of Warcraft attack faster than once per second? Do I have a set of daggers in my inventory? So unless you're using this against like multiple mobs, I mean, it's gonna suck against multiple mobs, right? But you're gonna be using it out in the world more. Obviously, this won't have too many implications in raids. So, I mean, chances of having too many mobs at you to make that ability not worth, pretty slim. After reading it, I don't think it's better than evasion, but I don't think it's a major nerf either. Pistol shot is our ranged combo point builder. Not really too much to it. Pickpocket, picklock, not, you know, anything different there. Still have gouge, a disorient, ending ability. Kick, I believe kick got a nerf. I think it used to prevent any spell from that school being cast for 7 seconds, and now it's 3 seconds. I'll have to go back and check in my other videos where I look at the kick mechanic, but it's just your interrupt. We're melee, so interrupting is going to be our job in raids, so that spellcasters don't have to interrupt their casts. We still have feint, 50% damage reduction to area effects, and all other damage taken by 30% for 5 seconds if you have the elusiveness talent, which I highly recommend. Distract. Nobody's used this since the legendary quest in Cataclysm, I'm pretty sure. Death from Above's a talent. Crimson Vial, it's a way better heal than Resuscitate. That's pretty much, I mean, all that is. It's the new Resuscitate. It's better. Cloak of Shadows, still doing Cloak of Shadows things. Cheap Shot hasn't changed. Bribe. 30-minute cooldown. Huge cooldown, but it bribes a non-player humanoid up to level 101, so one level above you, with Fool's Gold, convincing them to fight for you for 5 minutes. This is going to be really good while leveling and just in general in world content. Suramar, whenever you guys start working on that content, will be a good place to use this. World quests, stuff like that. Blind is still blind. Blade Flurry is Blade Flurry. Your energy reduction is reduced by 20. I'm not sure if that's the same amount as 6.3, but it doesn't feel any different. Between the Eyes, it replaces our kidney shot. It's a ranged attack, and listen to this. Deals 4 times normal damage for a critical strike. Not 2 times. 4 times. And so that's going to be important for one of the Roll the Bone buffs. Ambush. Ambush is just, it's our combo point builder when we're starting in stealth or when we vanish. It just gives us 2 combo points and 1 global cooldown. And Adrenaline Rush. Increases your energy regeneration rate by 100% and your attack speed by 20% for 15 seconds. So, let's go talk about Roll the Bones. Let me get some combo points here and get some buffs. So, there are 6 buffs you can get from Roll the Bones. You can get 1, 2, 3, or all 6. Obviously, the percent of all 6 is fairly high. I've only gotten it once. I would say getting 1 or 2 buffs is normally the norm. So right now I got 2. And I actually have them in order of strongest to weakest from left to right. So, we'll talk about Buried Treasure here first. And Buried Treasure increases your energy regeneration rate by 40%. Not too bad. It just, lets you spam more Saber Slashes, get more combo points to re-roll, probably. Is what you're going to end up doing. And Shark-Infested Waters increases your critical strike chance by 40%. And that's the buff I was talking about that has the interaction with Between the Eyes. Because if you increase your crit by 40%, chances are, if you spend the global to shoot one off, you're going to get a huge crit. I just got a crit. 81k crit. Not bad. I had a 1.2 million crit earlier. Let's just get some more combo points and look at some different buffs. True Bearing. This is the one that you really want to fish for, and I'll explain this one last. So let's fish for another buff since we've already seen Shark-Infested Waters. Oh, having a little FPS issue there. Let's see what we got this time. This time we got Broadsides. Your attacks generate 1 additional combo point. So just something to... Ooh, man, some lag spikes. Just something to keep in mind. Ooh. Sorry about that. I had to take care of that frame rate issue. Hopefully that's taken care of. So let's re-roll. See if I can get Jolly Roger again. Nope. I still want to explain True Bearing last, because it's the best buff, and it's going to be the one you're going to be fishing for. Here we go. Here's one you haven't seen yet. Grand Melee increases your attack speed by 40%, and it gives you, what is it, 20% leech? Weakest buff. Not, if you get this, you definitely want to re-roll your bones. In most cases, you're going to re-roll your bones. But in this case especially. Oh my god, 3 in a row. RN Jesus, please. True Bearing, no. I want to get Jolly Roger again. There we go. Jolly Roger. Saber Slash has an additional 40% chance to strike an additional time. That's an additional 40% chance on top of 45. You have an 85% chance. This is almost the same as all your attacks generate extra combo points. But not only does this make Saber Slash twice, of course, giving you extra combo points, but it gives you the pistol shot. And I'm not sure, the mathematicians are going to have to figure out if gaining additional combo points is more of a DPS increase or the increased Saber Slash, because I guess if Saber Slash hit twice, you would really be getting 4 combo points, and a pistol shot would fill you up to 6. But Jolly Roger feels better in my opinion. Like, it is smoother. It's not so hectic. Let me just see if I can get True Bearing now, because True Bearing gives your finishers a move. When you use a finisher move, it gives it, what is it, a 20% chance per combo point used, or something like that. I'm trying to get it so I can confirm. Finisher's moves reduce the remaining cooldown on many of your abilities by 2 seconds per combo point. That's what it is. So you want to, under these conditions, you're going to want to bank 6 combo points. Oops, wrong button. You'll bank 6 combo points, use Adrenaline Rush, and just start spamming Saber Slash and run. I can't stop from capping all my resources during Adrenaline Rush, which is actually like upsetting, because I mean that could actually be a DPS loss, right? On paper, that's a DPS loss. And in another interesting interaction, I don't have the buff anymore, but it also lowers the cooldown on death from above. and that's why we take that talent. Speaking of, wrong button. Speaking of talents, this is the talent setup I'm running, and this is what I believe is the best. Aside from Rage, you're probably going to be using Grappling Hook instead of Hit and Run. This is just like your utility tree, right? This is just movement speed, like a heroic leap type ability Grappling Hook is, or increases your melee range, which really doesn't do much. So this tier is not very good. This tier, pick whatever you want. They're all trash. As far as the other tiers, in your first tier, I believe Sword Master is the best because it gives your Saber Slash an additional 10% critical strike. Or sorry, not critical strike. Chance to strike an additional time. So it's going to generate you more combo points than Quick Draw. Which is just... generate you smoother combo points than Quick Draw. And I believe that's really better for this spec, especially when you roll like 3 or 6 buffs at one time. Things get ridiculous, and it's super easy to cap your resources. Deeper Stratagem, there's just... if you've been watching any beta videos, you know what these two do. Deeper Stratagem. I'm sure many of you have come to that conclusion. You can't take anything else. It's just too good. Elusiveness is what I prefer. Iron Stomach is probably better for leveling. It increases the healing on your Crimson Vial. Elusiveness is still the same. Cheat Death is still the same. We know what these... I'm going to skip the level 90 tier. The level 100 tier, Mark for Death, we know what it does. Slice and Dice, it's DPS loss. Don't even bother with it. You know what it does, though. Death from Above, you know what it does, but interestingly enough, it gets its cooldown lowered by True Bearing. And that is why we take it. I think Mark for Death might too, but Death from Above, True Bearing just lets you spam Death from Above. So, if all that information was like a little bit of an overload for you, because I know sometimes I talk real fast or like my ideas get muddled, don't worry. This is the section you want to pay attention to. I'm going to take this section nice and slow. This is going to be our rotation. You're going to come in. I guess we really just want to start in stealth, so let me get out of combat. You want to come in, start in stealth. Normally, you're not going to have those 2 combo points. But start in stealth. You're going to ambush. You're going to Saber Slash until you have 6 combo points. You're going to roll the bones, and you're going to want to get a True Bearing. So you're going to get back. You're in Death from Above after your first roll the bones, because you want a Death from Above on cooldown. And then you're going to roll the bones again. Didn't get True Bearing, so we're going to keep building up combo points with Saber Slash, using our pistol shots whenever they come up. Not in this case, because we're already capped on combo points. So we'll roll the bones, Jolly Roger, use our pistol shot. Death from Above, it's off cooldown. I'm going to start picking up the pace here. Roll the bones again, still no True Bearing. Roll the bones again, Jolly Roger. We're going to have to Death from Above here. Nope, probably can do one more. Still no True Bearing. We're just fishing for that True Bearing. Death from Above. All the other buffs are nice, but all the other buffs just let you re-roll faster to try to get that True Bearing. There are going to be cases where you don't want the True Bearing. Not that you don't want it, but where it's not as important. There, we just got the True Bearing, so what we want to do is pop Adrenaline Rush and go to town with Saber Slashes and run-throughs. Now, you're not going to want to use your pistol shot or death from above during adrenaline rush, or you'll definitely energy cap. But there we saw it just ran out, adrenaline rush, so I'm death from above. I'm gonna build up some combo points. I don't have enough for another death and above yet. You see it's already up. So I'm gonna death from above again, 6 combo points, build them back up. Pretty much death from above is going to be almost the only finisher you use during true bearing. And now, like, if your adrenaline rush isn't up yet, but your energy is low, you can actually wait for your death from above to be back up. Because having one resource capped and not the other, I shouldn't say that. Having combo points capped and energy regeneration is not necessarily DPS loss, right? If you don't use the combo points right away, it's not the biggest deal. When combo points become a DPS loss is when you cap energy and you could have fit in another Saber Slash, right? I believe delaying, because during True Bearing, you're only going to have to delay it by, death from above that is, by 2 or 3 seconds. I don't think that's going to be a huge DPS loss. That's going to be like 1 or 2 global cooldowns. Or I think on rogues we're global cooldown locked, so I think that's going to be 2 or 3 global cooldowns, which isn't that. I mean, some people would say that's a DPS loss, but I think also, like, it's important to remember sometimes you want to just take that 1-2 second breather to assess the room, right? To assess what's going on. That's a good time to do it. Wait for death and above to come back up, hit your death from above, and keep going for the resets. Multi-target situation, turn on Blade Flurry. Same rotation. Fit in vanishes off cooldown just to give you more combo points. Especially during True Bearing. In fact, I would venture to say only during True Bearing, so that you get a finisher off faster and get those cooldowns lowered even faster. But that's it, guys. Like, it feels like combat. It plays like combat. Roll the Bones is an interesting mechanic, the whole fishing for True Bearing. Whether they want you to do that or not. Some people don't like that. They say it's a lot of RNG. It is a lot of RNG. It's a lot of random damage. But at the end of the day, guys, this is a video game. Video games are supposed to be fun. And right now, this is the most fun I've ever had playing a combat rogue. Or outlaw rogue in this case. If you want to see more guides like this, let me know in the comments below. You can also find in the description below my Facebook page and my Patreon account. So if you want to help me make this my full-time gig, please go visit my Patreon account and you'll get access to my patron-only uploads there. As well as additional content depending on your donation level. Thanks again, guys, for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time.